What's poppin' YouTube? My name is Kas and welcome back to my channel Side Main Hustle, where I've turned my side hustle into my main job, my main hustle. And in today's video I'm going to be going ahead and telling you what sold today as well as what am I listing. So stick with me and we'll get right into it. Alright, so only got 3 things going out today. The first one is in this tote right here. This is going to be part of a retail arbitrage that I did at the Adidas store, and I know it's way down here because I can actually see the Adidas fanny pack right there. So I bought this from Adidas at the outlet, and it was on Black Friday. They had a big sale going on. It was like 50% off. Ticket price is $25. I picked them up for $12.50 plus tax, minus fees, all that. I'll be making about $8 after shipping and everything because I have free shipping. It ships via USPS first class, so that's pretty good because it's only $2.78 to ship out. The next item I have is in here. It's going to be what I talked about in my last video. It's frames for Oakley sunglasses. In my last video, I talked briefly about how if you're not selling an item, maybe try pulling it apart. If you can break it into 2 or 3 pieces, potentially it might sell for a little bit better, or maybe even for a little bit more money. In this case, this actually sold without the lens. I have already blown through the lenses because the lens that was on here was a pretty hot lens, and it just was not selling on this frame, but I was able to sell those lenses, get my money out of it, and now the frame is sold. And we have another Oakley item going out. This is a lens to another frame. This one just came by itself. I didn't pull it from a pair of sunglasses, so this I'm gonna wrap up and ship out. Let's go ahead and get those packaged up right. Alright, all done with those. So literally as I was finished talking about those 3 things that items sold, which is great, but unfortunately it is under all these boxes right here, all these totes. And of course it's at the very bottom right in there. So I gotta pull that out. Alright, so I did sell this guy, which you saw me grab out from the bin. I'll put a picture up so you can see exactly what it is. It's just a wireless router that doesn't really sell for much. It's $19.95, I believe I had it listed for, plus shipping. Buyer paid for shipping. And I was originally not going to list it because it does have a broken antenna, but I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and post it since it's like just a couple quick snaps. Took me literally 5 minutes to list it, explain what happened to the antenna, just broke, but it's still functional. And I was thinking if somebody decides that they want to pick it up for cheap, then great. If not, that's fine too. I can just end up dumping it later on down the road. But this sold much quicker than I thought it was gonna sell. It sold in like about a month, so that was pretty good because I was literally just gonna throw it away, but I figured let me just try it out and see what happens. I'm in line waiting to pick up my kids from school right now, and thought I'd take this couple minutes to just briefly talk about the importance of listing items. So everybody loves to go out and buy stuff. Everybody loves the hunt. Everybody loves thrifting, garage sales, finding those great deals at outlets, stores, retail arbitrage, whatever it is that your vice is. I like doing it. People like doing it. It's fun. That's the fun part of reselling. The not so fun part is actually listing. And I have fallen into that many times over, and it's just one of those things where you really have to do that part of the business. It's not fun taking pictures, looking things up, writing descriptions. It's tedious, at least for me. I mean, there may be somebody out there that actually likes that process, but for me it is tedious and annoying, and that's why I created my 10 items a day listing video, because I need to stick to that. I can do much more, but when you work for yourself and you have your normal life stuff that you take care of on a regular day-to-day basis, it does get a little easy to just put it off. So the 10 items, I definitely need to ramp that up more. I need to get that maybe closer to 20 items per day. I think I'll be pretty happy if I get to 20 items per day, but I'm still on track for my goal. But the whole main point of this is that you really want to get your items listed. And the reason why I say that and why I'm putting it in here now is because the more that I've been listing, I've noticed pretty consistently now that I'm getting a little bit more sales trickle in, and it's not even from the items that I list. It's from other items that have been sitting for a little bit. It could be a little bit of coincidence. It's not an exact rocket science that just listing will definitely get you sales, but it is not a coincidence that the more that I list, the more that I sell, and the less that I list, the less that I sell. So the way I equate it to is like, it's like YouTube has an algorithm, right? The more you start posting, the more videos that you start putting out there, the more people start watching, the more subscribers you get. So same thing with eBay. The more you start posting, the more you start listing, the more sales you start getting. And obviously the whole point of this all is to make as much money as possible. And especially for me, if you're doing it as just a side thing and you don't want to, put a ton of time and effort into it, and you're satisfied with what you have, then that's great. But me, I definitely want to create this and make it much bigger than I used to have it. When you are just buying, that make sure you're putting the equal amount, if not more, effort into listing. All right, I'm gonna pick up the kids now, and I'll see you back at the house. Oh, hello there. All right, so I'm gonna try and get to this box right here. Has some good stuff in here. Actually, this is my electronic box that I've been meaning to post for a while, which I don't know why I've been sitting on this, because this is probably one of the most valuable totes that I have that's not listed. Got a bunch of DVDs in here. I got a couple of iPad minis that were my kids, which they don't use anymore. I have this. I don't think there's an iPhone in here, actually. Maybe there is. There is an iPhone. How did I forget about that? I thought it was just a box. All right. So, and then a bunch of these tablets are from my previous work, which most of them are pretty much not working, I think, or they're just gonna be 4 parts. So I want to say, now that I see that iPhone in there, oh, and then there's these AirPods, which are older version. Wow, there's a lot in here. Kind of dumb of me to just been sitting on this. I want to say, just a brief overlook, this is probably at least 500 bucks sitting in here, if not more. I want to say more. I'm gonna have to go through it all, and hopefully I get to the whole container today. A lot of this stuff is small things I can just do quick pictures on my phone. Some of them might require a little bit more in-depth, which I take with a proper camera and use and post from my laptop. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so last you saw me was yesterday when I was opening up this box right here, and I was going through all the items in there just to see kind of briefly what I had, and I found a bunch of stuff that I didn't realize that was still in there, especially a couple of high dollar value items. I did go through there and pull out things that were super quick to list, like such as the DVDs, and I got those all listed yesterday, so it was about 10 items. So I did hit my 10 items for the day. I wanted to get to much more, but then stuff just came up and I didn't get a chance to finish listing. Today's actually my wife's birthday, so I'm probably not going to be listing anything. So I got a couple items to ship out, and I'm probably going to be just going around with her and the kids, and maybe go to the mall, go out to dinner or something like that. I did get to listing all these DVDs yesterday. I allotted these 2 together, and then everything else was individual, and I did actually sell this one right here, Disney Bears. And the way I have decided to take on DVDs is obviously look every one of them up. If I can lot something together, like these 2 Hunger Games, I'll put that together because those obviously go together. But the way I decided to deal with the DVDs is I don't want to sell anything for less than $5.95 with free shipping. Most people don't want to pay for shipping for DVDs because they feel that, hey, it's super lightweight. They don't obviously know how much it costs, but I can send it media mail, which is going to cost me $2.80. So I have the way I worked out the math is that even if something is selling for $4 on eBay, it doesn't mean that people are only going to pay $4 for it. There are going to be people out there who look at the price of an item and say, yeah, that's good enough, it's $6, it's cheap, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, and don't even bother looking at the rest of the other listings. I actually know that for a fact that some people do that because I have a couple friends that do that, and they don't look for the lowest price even though it's the exact same item. They just say, oh yeah, that sounds reasonable, and just click buy. So I know if I have a couple friends that do that, there are definitely other people out there that are going to do the same thing. So the reason why I came up with $6 is that if the DVD is not selling for anything higher than $6, the way I worked it out is that they're gonna pay $5.95, I'm gonna take out my $2.80 for shipping plus my 13% in eBay and PayPal fees. If I don't have any money into it, such as like I did not go and buy it from a garage sale or a thrift store, and I do have obviously money into these DVDs and actually one game, because these are all ones that I purchased for use. It wasn't any purchases to flip. And when I say I don't have any money into it, obviously I'm losing money technically on all these, but those were for use, that wasn't for actual flipping. So if I don't have any money into it, that's going to leave me with a profit of $2.40, I believe I worked it out to be. So the reason why I say that I'm okay with about $2.40, $2.50 profit is because the way I figure it is that it's going to take me about 5 minutes to list and ship the item. So it's going to take me about a minute to look it up. It's going to take me about another 3 minutes or so to take the picture, put the description, list the item, and then another minute once it does sell to actually package it up. The way I look at it is that if you're making 50 cents a minute on an item, that's $30 an hour, so I'm okay with that. And then especially if you're doing obviously multiple items and you're selling more DVDs, more games, obviously other items, you're just adding that into the time of how long it takes to package things up, and you're increasing your hourly rate. Now, if you buy the DVD for $1, I wouldn't recommend selling it for $6, because now obviously your cost has significantly gone up. Unless you're okay with taking $1.50 away as profit. There's nothing wrong with $1.50. It's just that for me, I'd much rather sell a little bit higher value item to get that higher hourly rate. But that's basically the least that I'm willing to sell a DVD for, and that's just me. Now, I also just sold this guy right here. You can't see it from here, but right there in the corner, it's a subwoofer. I'm gonna pull that out right now. So, an item that I sold today was this guy right here. This is a giant subwoofer. Well, not giant in size, but giant in weight. This thing I weighed it last time, I think it was like 35 pounds. I gotta weigh it again, maybe 40 pounds. It is a Sunfire True Subwoofer MK2 by Bob Carver. So apparently this is some kind of like limited edition subwoofer, and this is actually not mine. I actually got this from my uncle. He gave it to me. He said, hey, you know what? He said, sell for whatever you can sell for, and then we'll split the profit. I told him, I was like, no, it's fine. I'll go ahead and sell it for you and just give you the full amount for it. So I had it listed for $675 plus shipping. I really didn't know what it went for. I had someone message me about it saying, yeah, if it was serviced and refurbished, then it'd probably go for that much, but because it had not been serviced and refurbished, it's gonna go for about $400. So I let it sit on eBay maybe a few weeks, and then I had about 13 watchers or so, and this morning I sent out an offer. I just wanted to get it sold, get it rid of, get it out of here, because it doesn't take up that much space, but it's heavy and kind of bulky. So I sold it for $425, and the buyer paid shipping. Okay, so I couldn't remember exactly how much it weighed, but it is 45 pounds almost. And I did put that in the listing because I knew that I was going to have to get this right. So I think I put 50 pounds because I needed to make sure that I had enough room for all the packaging. So I'm going to package this guy up. It's going to be a process, probably take me about maybe 20 minutes or so. I got to find a big box, and I got to package it all up with a bunch of sturdy material. I do have these little foam kind of insert things, so I'm going to be putting, it's nice and thick, so I'm going to be putting that in the box and wrapping it in bubble wrap, and then putting it around with maybe some more foam. And then I also have some packing fillers, so I'm going to be putting all kinds of stuff in it to make sure that it arrives nice and safe, and it doesn't damage while it's being shipped. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. I packaged it all up, and it took me about maybe 15 minutes, I want to say, to package everything. Maybe 20 minutes, I didn't check exactly. So, all in all, it is about 47 pounds, I think you just saw. I'm going to get this thing going and shipped out. So I went ahead and printed out some of these little paper printouts. I just wanted to make sure that they handled it with care. Even though you put the handle with care fragile on it, a lot of times they don't listen, but it doesn't hurt to obviously try. And I'm going to put these on here, saying this side up around all four corners. Let me go ahead and put those on right now. All right, those are all on. Got them all around the box. This side up, fragile and heavy. Gotta put on the shipping label and ship it on out. Okay, and last item I sold was this DJI Osmo Mobile 2 gimbal. So if you saw in the previous video, I listed that, and that's gonna go out for $49 and buyer paid for shipping. So I was editing the video and I was looking for the rest of my footage of me basically ending the video and it wasn't there. Then I realized I actually didn't end the video. I had to finish packaging up my stuff and I had to hurry up because it was my wife's birthday, so I wanted to get out the door. But thanks so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff, and catch me in the next one.